Jai Shri Ram. My prompt to ChatGPT. What might God's prayers be? What might God's prayers be? We are always praying, praying, praying. Are you praying to God or praying on God? Preying. Are you praying to or praying on? In fact, I have never understood why we should pray at all. Why would God change his plans just because we flatter him? I still don't understand. I don't know if I pray at all. But sometimes I think everything I do is a prayer. So, because I am convinced if you deserve something, he is not going to deny it. And if you don't deserve it, if you are not eligible, any amount of begging is not going to make him change his mind. So, in fact, that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5:15, I think you check, Nadate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanenavrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Krishna is openly saying, I don't keep a track of all the good things that you do or bad things that you do. And because you are drowning in ignorance, you tend to get deluded, thinking that this is what I am doing. Obviously, a smart God would not get into, he won't do micromanaging. There is a powerful karmic software which keeps working, and well, the karmic whirlpools will get you. The repercussions cannot be escaped, or at least that's what every shastra says. Though, of course, real life seems to contradict that. We suffer cognitive dissonance because of that. And we see good people suffering, and the bad, crooked, dangerous criminals seem to be having a nice time. So, anyway, I'm not sure. But I have understood that being the way I am, which is believing all this, makes me happier and helps me preserve my peace of mind. Okay, so the prompt was, what might God's prayers be? And what does ChatGPT say? A deliciously paradoxical question. If God is complete, to whom would God pray? That's what Yudhishthira asks Krishna. Everyone meditates on you, and you meditate on whom? Krishna said, Shiva. Anyway, yet if we treat it as a philosophical exercise, God's prayers might not be requests but expressions of eternal values. Yeah. द्वासुपर्णा सयुजा सखाया समानं वृक्षं परिशस्वजाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वाद्वति अनश्नन्नन्यो अभिचाकशीति. So the Veda says that there are two birds sitting within the human body, the Paramatma and the Jivatma. The Paramatma is the bird sitting right on top, and it is a Sakshi, witness, eternal witness, and you and I are the other bird. These two birds are Dvasuparna Sayuja, born at the same time, co-equal, right? In fact, unborn, causeless, birthless. We were never born, we will never die. So there is no point in celebrating birthdays. Yoga Vasishtam Saraswati Devi says, वस्तुतस्तु न जातोसी न मृतोसी, वस्तुतस्तु न जातोसी न मृतोसी, शुद्ध विज्ञान स्वरूपस्त्वं दीर्घ स्वप्नम idam jagat. I think you understood. So, Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya, friends, Samanam Vruksham, the body is the Vruksham, Parishasvajati, Tayor Anya Pippalam Swadvati, one is eating the fruits, Tayor Anya Pippalam Swadvati, Anashnan Anyo Abhichakashiti, Anashnan, the other bird is not eating, sitting right on top. Krishna is sitting right on top, that is on the top of the tree, he is roosting. Instead of we roosting, we are getting roosted or roasted. That is the Vedic parable of the two birds, which is there in all the four Vedas. Okay. So, I think God's prayer, Krishna's prayer is that someday we will join him at the top and understand what true enjoyment is instead of becoming beggars of enjoyment here. So let us see. Imagine them as, may every being discover what it truly is. Wow. May fear not masquerade as wisdom. Yeah. May ignorance not masquerade as knowledge. May love mature beyond possession. Truly. May intelligence be joined to compassion. Obviously. Animal slaughter, halal, jhatka, all these are bad. Every animal loves life. Huh? The chicken has its own family. The goat, the sheep, the cows, every animal, even the shrimp. So how mean of us if we are eating meat and then trying to defend it on stupid grounds. And some idiots are saying there is a humane way of slaughter. How can you humanely kill anyone? May suffering not be wasted. Yeah, you have already suffered. Why don't you realize? Why don't you realize if you are a human being? Uh, human being, rare boon. That's why Kathopanishad, Uttishta Jagrita, Uttishta Jagrita, Prapya Varan Nibodhata, Kshurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya. Wake up. Uttishta Jagrita. Rise, wake up. Varan Nibodhata. Realize that you have got a boon. And what's the boon? Being born as a human. Uttishta Jagrita. Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Kshurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya. But you have to walk on the edge of a razor. So you can fall at any moment. So eternal vigilance. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Thomas Jefferson. That's true spiritually too. Because it's very easy to fall. It's easy. It's very difficult to scale the mountain, Mount Everest. But falling from there is very easy. It's a matter of seconds. Right? So may freedom not degenerate into debauchery and chaos. May truth be loved more than comfort. Satyameva jayate nanratam satyena panta vitato devayanaha yenakramantu rushayo yapta kama yatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam. That is our national motto. What a joke it has become. Bullshit eva jayate, secularism eva jayate. What secularism? And secularism is a concept originated in Europe because of Christianity, which believes that the king should be under the control of the Pope. But Henry the Sixth, you know history, right? So he said enough of this, and then secularism basically meant separation of the papistry, separation of the clergy and the ruler, the state, right? So anti-disestablishmentarianism. Okay, that's a big word. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Actually, anti and dis cancel each other. Basically, anti-disestablishmentarianism is supporting the policy that the king should be under the control of the church. Now, church is a word which means organized religion. In Hinduism, we don't have a central church. We have small churches. But every Hindu is actually free not to follow any church. You are on your own. Only Hinduism gives you total freedom. In Christianity, Islam, you have to adhere to a holy book and follow what your pastor or mullah tells you. Questions, don't ask questions. 5.101 Quran says don't ask questions. And Christianity also is very clear. No questions. Questioning is blasphemous. Whereas in Hinduism, you are entitled to even ridicule God. Ninda stuti. Right? Ninda stuti. Okay. May truth be loved more than comfort. Sadly, today in India, secularism, as you all know, anything anti-Hindu is secular. Nobody has the courage, the guts to criticize Christianity and Islam and communism. If you see, their foundations are very weak. I don't want to use any strong language because if I do, I'll be chased. 295A, 153A, all kinds of sections. While they are abusing us inside out, nothing happens. So we Hindus are third class citizens. In fact, we are still slaves. We have got independence, but we are not free. temples are not free, they are looting us. See, for years I have been studying Bhagavad Gita, doing a lot of research, and I can confidently tell you that I am probably one of the most knowledgeable people on Sanatana Dharma I have come across in my life. That sounds very arrogant, but I find I have met many people, so-called gurus, and I realize they are all very shallow. Jatilo mundi lunchita kesha kashayambara bahukruta vesha pasyannapi na pashyati mudha udara nimittam bahukruta vesha. So here also Ramalayam, it has got a board of you know the temple board, about 15-20 people are there. All it's all about politics. Caste politics is going on. Not a single person knows even one sloka from Ramayana. Actually, a person like me should be given the complete charge of the Ramalayam or Krishnalayam. But that will never happen. That will never happen. Because I am a Brahmin in the first place. So Brahmins are hated. Brahmin bashing is, in fact, a fundamental duty perhaps in society. And I don't have any lobby to support me. I don't care, by the way. May truth be loved more than comfort. That's God's prayer. Perhaps God also knows that this prayer will never be answered. People love rubbish, and if you tell them that what they believe as true and what they consider as holy is rubbish, they will kill you. May those who seek me cease overlooking themselves. What is this? May those who seek me cease. Okay. I have total faith. May every creature be allowed to bloom according to its nature. That's true. Women, they have to wear burqa, they have to tolerate halala, and they are accusing Hinduism. Yes, many Hindus have, picked up nasty habits from all these desert cults. If you look at their holy books, you will be shocked at the amount of misogyny that is there. There is no misogyny in Hindu scriptures. If at all you find it, that is either distorted, taken out of context, or interpolated. Hinduism is the only religion which has got female deities, and the name of the female deity precedes that of the male deity. From a Gita perspective, one could even say Krishna's prayer is already voiced. Abandon all limited refuges and take refuge in me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam charanam raja. Ham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. 1866. Not because God needs worship, but because reality is forever inviting the wave to remember it is ocean. Okay. God's prayer might be, dear humans, before asking me to change the world, kindly read the instruction manual I have already sent in the form of conscience, reason, experience and consequences. That's why Krishna said, Atmano Gururatmaiva. Atmano Gururatmaiva Purushasya Visheshataha. Krishna boldly declared that you can be your own guru. You can be your own guru. That is the uniqueness of being human. Others cannot be their own gurus. But unfortunately, many humans today, in my opinion about 4 billion, or in fact more, have suffered serious brain damage because of those holy books. So they are no longer human. Deepest prayer, may every being awaken before bitterness hardens into destiny. Yes, they become psychopaths. They become sociopaths. Look at that Sia Goyal, poor chap, that Ketan Agarwal. I really feel sad for that fellow. He was so naive. He trusted this girl and he gave her 1 crore just because he wears a small patch, a wig, a tupi, and perhaps he stutters a little. Such a nice, such a golden hearted boy, intelligent. He studied, he went abroad, Boston I think. Hey, yaar, you just push somebody down to his death. And poor fellow, how naive. I feel so fortunate. I've been looted. There is a Brahmin whose cognomen is Rama Bhatla. We trusted him. And finally, he is illegally occupying my house. uh, and we have filed a case. He has received 17 summons from the court to give a reply, but he has not given. And his son has threatened that he will kill us. We filed a case, police case. We don't know what's happening. And that fellow is happily going around. Uh, so, fortunately, I have been not so naive as Ketan Agarwal. Nobody pushed me off a cliff. I am still alive, kicking. And I will build a bigger fortune. In fact, I don't need to build any fortune. यम लब्ध्वा चापरम लाभम मन्यते नादिकम तथा यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते यम लब्ध्वा चापरम लाभम मन्यते नादिकम ततः यस्मिन् स्थितेन दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते. Krishna says, look up, yam labdhva chaparam labham. Once a person has achieved this knowledge, the ultimate wisdom of the Gita, which is the essence of the Vedas, then any loss he suffers is trivial because he has gained so much from this knowledge. That is the state I am in. I have lost a house. ठीक है, no problem. I lost many other things because of that rascal. And he's a Brahmin. Arey, what kind of a Brahmin, yaar? That is the reason, Brahmin bashing to a large extent is perhaps okay. But the truth is, good people and bad people are there in every group. Remember, we don't have any caste in Hinduism. May every being awaken before bitterness hardens into destiny. Brian Wyas, Many Lives, Many Masters. He talks about, past life regression. Brian Wyas. Please read the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. For a bhakta, God's prayer is grace descending. For a jnani, God's prayer is silence. For a poet, God's prayer is creation. Okay. Let's see. How many commentaries exist on Gita? That was my next question. So he gave. Let's see what else. Any more? Okay. So I think we'll stop here. Jai Shri Ram.